Anethi John Vela Fighters. Caca nonke. Mina futhi labantu Divela kuphela komuntu okwazi ukusicula lapha ngudivela comrades. Fighters, before ndiqhubeke kakhulu ndizonika iprogram abanikazi bayo iphondo. We take principles when a program of this nature takes place. Original, I'm from here. It wouldn't be normal for me to run this program. Be able to say noted, Comsar. We take such we're seeking advice. We are fine. This meeting is now legitimate, but you will see how legitimate is this meeting. Ngokubana uve kwi guidelines zale conference about what is required in a conference. So as I was saying, here and there we are going to observe and guide and see what is the way forward. But my task for now, as I will be assisting his Papandle, my task now will be to introduce who are our guests. Phakathi kwethu sine leadership region that has a minimal role here. Abantu be logistics, abantu boqiniseka sine holo, abantu bayeza apha and everything else. Babe sebesinibalisela nje ukuthi organization ime kanjani. Then after that, leadership province ne leadership national ithathe over. This is a national program sanctioned by the National Office of the Secretary General. There can be no RGA without the Office of the Secretary General. So that's the only office that sanctions this kind of a gathering. So amongst the deployees today, we have fighters Zolega Kotoi, The PCT member is known as Mams or Kabuli leadership. Mzukisi, sinomzukisi Mahamba, provincial leader, PCT member, newly elected, Kabuli leadership.
Kula EFF, Kula. Viva Alfred Nzo, Viva.
Sibe no fighters no we no ngenda as a PCT member also. Leadership. Sibe no deputy secretary of the province. The woman who will be in charge as Shia Nansiga the podium will be in charge of facilitating the I can share unobala and now. Since the program go with the security part, security go. She will be running this program. Kabuli Semakaba.
Manda.
Sibe Noma Mustuns, PCT member also from Damampur, Kabulis Mamustuns. Then we have the commissar, Umamukosi Mkondo, the person oyothatha uxanduva la yonke iprogram elapha sizobe sireporta kunye kwi-office ka-SG ukuthi nyani le nto ithethwa nguMadikizela ihambe ngale ndlela ihambe. Then she is the custodian ye-EFF, uthunywe sisigqeba sikazwelonke ukuthi mazogada i-EFF apha e-Alfred Nzo. EFF is a unitary organization in the EFF, the national structure. That is only national structure that would account for you in any platform. So, Mamo Kosi Kabulise.
Malbongwe.
Thanks, fighters. As Kokelo region, so introduce on Magaba class ebanika roles zokuba bazosebenza irole azoyiplaya umuntu ngamnye. But generally most of you are just delegates. That are voting delegates, but has anezovota namhlanje anditi. All right. So fighters, I hand over to you, PDS provincial.
Andla viva mandibulise kumendlini khondo the PCT members in the house, Kokelo region, the media, RCT members. Before we do anything, we gatherings ezinjena. Funeka siphakame sonke senze umthandazo ka-EFF in the form of ungosi sikelela. Ndizawucela singahlazeki kwimedia. Xa sifika kula ndawo isekugqibeleni singathi South Africa. U-EFF ngowe-Afrika. Xa sicula sithi Africa. Ndizawucela fighter Qotoyi asikhokele ngalo mthandazo ka-EFF. Enkosi.
Yathetha. This one. Okay. Ndizawucela Nkosi Sekela Nobhala ndibuyise kwisithuthi deploying. Ndizawucela wonke umuntu ongutata olapha endlini awothule umnqwazi wakhe xa sizawunikeza imbeko kulo mthandazo wethu we-EFF. Wonke umuntu ongutata ongaphakathi awuthule umnqwazi wakhe. Nkosi sikeleli Afrika maluphakanyisu phondo lwayo izwa imithandazo yethu Nkosi sikelela thina lusapho lwayo Nkosi sikeleli Afrika maluphakanyisu phondo lwayo izwa imithandazo yethu Nkosi sikelela thina lusapho lwayo woza moya woza moya woza moya oyingcwele Nkosi sikelela thina lusapho lwayo woza moya woza moya woza moya oyingcwele Nkosi sikelela thina lusapho lwayo murena buluka sitshaba sa Yesu mufethise tintwali mazweni usibuluke usibuluke sitshaba sitshaba sa Yesu sitshaba sa Afrika usibuluke 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 sitshaba sa Yesu sitshaba sa Afrika makube njalo makube njalo kude kube phakade
Amanda. Cacile phe Alfred Nzo aniqhelanga ukopa. Andazi noba ke yinto entle noba yinto embi naleyo. Nimfuna apha uMzantsi weAfrika. Sizawubiza ke ngoku kwesi sigaba unumber 1 walapha eAlfred Nzo. Oh. Welcome. Manda. Gama lamakhosikazi. Kukho slight changes in the program. So ngexesha ndizobiza Imbokodo ilungu lethu lika national umama uKhosi Mkhulu azosihlahlela indlela.
EFF gathering. And fortunately today, we are not gathering under set conditions or environment. We are happy that we are contributing in building this organization. We are contributing in developing this organization. So you can't behave as if you are in a funeral and you were very close to the deceased, so you can't sing, you can't dance. Because it's only those in a funeral. If you see a person not in a funeral, you must know he or she was very close to the deceased. To comfort those that are directly affected, so they have to sing. Fighter, program director, Fighter Snowy. No, it's not Snowy. It's Fighters the corner. The deputy secretary, brand new from the box of our province. Fighters, today is a great day. You have been given another opportunity as ground forces of the EFF to take very important decisions. I want, first of all, fighters, to applaud and commend you as Alfred Nzo region, the contributions, the impact you had in the recent PPA, in terms of you making sure that the PPA corrects your contributions in discussions and in everything. Above all, your discipline. Region, leadership, and the ground forces. Whilst working, fighters, you know that you will stamp on each other's toes. In a working environment, you will not disagree, you will not agree in everything. Some things you are going to disagree, some things you are going to agree, but what you must know is that it is normal. It is normal in a working environment not to agree in everything. If you agree in everything, then you are saying to me, you are leading a bunch of mamparas. They can't think independently. If every one of you is thinking independently, I see that by receiving complaints that Commissar so-and-so is not doing what I thought should be done. Then I know that work is being done and I'm leading independently thinking. The hard work that I am referring to will be tested in 2024. So I'm saying to all of you, don't drop the gun. Always, when a soldier drops his or her gun, you will shoot your feet. Don't drop the gun and shoot your foot. You must continue working hard. According to the reports that we are having, PPA is only for very few words. I'll hold it. Very few words do not have structures in Alfred Nzo. Let us talk, fighters, as you were one region that was leading in the PPA. Happened in the PPA first. We had 60% of women delegates voting for 100% who voted. I do. That is in was. Let us stop pointing fingers at one another. This time we sound. If you want to talk to me about that thing, tell me what contribute to that, and give me recommendations as we correct in the future. As women in the EFF, we don't want sympathy. That is why I always encourage young women in this organization to work very hard. Because we don't want to be given positions to say, I ukomisa mkhonto nithi ayephi awushem ayimfakeni man ayisizombona phambili angifuni ukubonwa phambili ngifuna ukubonwa before ngi-electwa ukuthi ngiyasebenza. So asifuni ama-fighters angabomama afuna ukubonwa phambili. Asingabonwa phambili fighters. We can't be staff riders as women. This country was built by women. It's women that were leading in the struggle against apartheid. We are the grandchildren of those women that marched in 1956. So we can't be women that need to be pushed as like wheelbarrows. It cannot be. It needs grandchildren of Abo Lillian Ngo, granddaughters of Abo Winnie Madikizela Mandela. We are not granddaughters of Abo Albertina Sisulu. We can't claim to be granddaughters of those gallant fighters, yet we want to be pushed as wheelbarrows. We want sympathy for us to be elected into positions of power. We need women that will always remember that they are leaders. We don't need social media leaders. We need women that will go to the ground and work the ground. And people to know them. You see, fighters, what we were observing on social media towards the PPA is women fighting one another for them to be able to put men into positions. To an extent, they will fight babizane, babody shaimane. Hey, wena mkhonto, une siswe sinjanjani, unamazinya njanjani. And that woman doesn't want to be the chairperson of the province. Ufayithela ukuthi lo omunye umfazi fanele avume ukuthi kubekwe le ndoda uye esikhundleni. Akazilweli yena. Akalweli omunye umfazi. And these thing fighters yokuthi relationships, if they intimate relationships, if they go wrong, women must account. It's wrong. Kaloku utata umntanakho ukulahlile ngingenaphi ungilahlile and then befanele ngimenze ngibophele ngamaketanga. As I do, we encourage women each and every day to live toxic relationships. Even if the relationship is toxic, even the relationship is abusive, abahlale because nibagadile. Once they go out, nizobuyela ku social media, niyobabuza ukuthi utata umntanakho. That man was abusing the woman. That man is not a relationship. But nina abahlale because according to you, living that relationship is not correct. You don't want even to know what was happening in that relationship. Because there is no woman who can wake up in the morning and just leave a relationship. There isn't. There are reasons, but you are not interested in those reasons. So I'm standing here in front of you today to say, away with GBV. Any woman in this house, outside this gathering, that is in an abusive relationship, that is in a toxic relationship, please leave before it's too late. Alfred Nzo is a predominantly rural region or district. Women in the rural areas are experiencing what we call triple oppression. They are oppressed because of their gender. They are oppressed because most of them, they are not educated. They are oppressed because they live in the rural areas. They are poverty-stricken. There are no opportunities. Very few opportunities exist in the rural areas for women. So we have to stand up side by side and fight. We fight against poverty with those women. Those women, they need us. They need us to strengthen them. They need us to strengthen them with knowledge, to create opportunities, to fight this useless ANC government, to give these women economic opportunities in the rural areas. It is our duty. So it means we don't have time to fight each other. There is no time to ask me, ukuthi why ngimnyama? Ngizelwe nginje and sengiyaguga ngiyekufeni. Noma ngakhuluma uthini ngoba umnyama bami, uthi ngumnyama ngizofa nginje. So there is no need. Come to me and say, how can we help these women abakuma rural areas for them to be economically viable, for them to be able to sustain their livelihoods, the livelihoods of their children. Most families in the rural areas are headed by women. Because practically so, men leave the rural areas to go to the urban areas and look for better opportunities. So the people that in the house are women. So how are we, as the EF Alfred Nzo, what is our program that will say this one is designed specifically to empower women? We want women of Alfred Nzo in the 4 sub-regions to be economically viable, to sustain them. How are we going to create opportunities for them to be able to be financially independent? My last point, fighters, will be the future of this region. The future of this region, all of you, both men and women fighters, is in your hands. Yes, our performance is satisfactory, but there is always room for improvement. So when we go out now, each and every corner of Alfred Nzo, they must know, if there is a councillor in that community, they must know, all of them, that there is an EFF councillor. They must know that there is a BCT, and in that BCT, Soren So is the chairperson of that BCT. So we can't always introduce ourselves to the communities when it's towards elections. 2024, we are going for the provincial and national elections. So fighters, let us start now. We are leaders of the community. As EFF ground forces, we are of the community. As the chairperson of a branch, you are not a leader of those 15 members. You are a leader of the community in that particular ward. When they say in that ward there is no water, you must become worried. When they say there is crime in that ward, you must become worried. And together with your BCT, you must sit down and come up with strategies as to how are you going to fight that crime? How are you going to fight the non-service delivery by the government? How are you going to approach the ward councillor and tell him or her that this community needs intervention in one or two things? Fighters, let's go out and lead these communities. The communities are waiting for us. They see what the EFF is doing on TV, but now we must bring physically so what the EFF is doing on TV, people on the ground must feel it. Mandla! Mandla! Viva EFF, viva! Viva! Viva EFF, viva! Viva! Long live Silo Julius Malema, our CIC, long live! Long. CIC, long live! Long live. Amandla!
Sibulele Komisa Mkondo. Sikwi RGA, Regional General Assembly. We have a chairperson here in this region. Ufighter Malwanda Makala. Uzasikelela ke ndoba why are we here? Asamkele asose akinhle nesigweba sakhe. Over to you, Fighter Malwanda. Kulelano chewe.
Thank you very much, the program director, the deputy secretary, Kona, Jolie, a capable leader of this province. We greet the PCTs. President is led by the provincial secretary. We greet deployed and this region. Alfred, we have PCT members, delegates that the Deputy Secretary will give us in detail who's here. And also we've got so far 18 RCT members. I would like all RCT members to stand because I don't know who's here, who's not. To stand and wave. Nyawabona fighters, these are your leaders in this region. They were elected fairly by the Regional People's Assembly last year in August the 21st. But I will name the ones that are in front because we've got fortunately, Commissar, mistake, PP18. We made sure that in the top 5 we've got a woman. So we are safe here in Alfred Nzo Fighter. We already have a woman. It does not mean that we cannot have more, but we don't have a crisis even if there's no more, because we have a woman in the top 5. Our treasurer of the region, Umama Umatabu. And then we have our deputy secretary, acting as secretary currently, that is stipulated in the Constitution fighters that in the absence of the secretary, the deputy automatically acts as a secretary. So, Faseko Safungana is our acting secretary, deputy secretary.
Mandla, viva EFF, viva.
And then, come down. And then we have Ufaita Mzigai Segweja, the regional chairperson of Alfred Nzo, one of the guys that started this movement. He's been there, he's done that. He knows who's who in the region. Particularly you, who fight and who fight Matigize, because you are no longer with us now, fighter. Of Alfred Nzo. This is a region of discipline fighters. By the way we handle our issues here, that we are a very disciplined bunch, and you will go to the PCT and report that no incidences were seen in this RGA. In fact, we hope that if the would twice a month in way to, there wouldn't be any contest because there elections. But yeah, the constitution is clear in the one, everybody has got a right to contest. We hope that there wouldn't be, because we are a disciplined bunch. We welcome you, and fighters, let's treat them with warm hands. Sing our best bafile in the one basol don't abuse to Alfred Nzo. Kalendle lesicela ukwenza ngayo xa meeting, let's have that respect. Siyayazi into bana state a meeting in captate abanye abantu. Mandla.
Mandla. Cela ke nithi nje ingoma ibenye ne. In the meantime, Sicele abane cell phones basifake ku silent kwenzela singaphazamisani neprogram. Call u sekela no bala tell us kwenzela sizoyazi into leyo iyaqhuba na over High moral. Cela isikhokelo se-region sincedisane nathi kwi-fighters. Singade sincedise ngokwethu. Amandla.
Amandla. Amandla.
Amandla. Fighters zaza sicela sincedisa pha enantsike ba catering. Uthathe neya fighter mabili cela ubathathe nini siyabenzeni pha ephike please.
Mandla. 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 Qina fighter qina. Qina fighter qina. Masibulele program director, the deputy secretary of the province. Ndibulise kwi-CCT member yethu deploy apha Alfred and fighters. Presenter nje i-credentials. Expected it's 220. I-delegates ezikhona from branches it's 104. Vote is PCT, members of PCT 7 ezinathi apha. So ngalondlela ke icho isenze sikwazi ukuyimitha iquorum. Thank you very much.
Unophalongi namkhithi.
Unophala. Unophalongi namkhithi. Unophala.
RGA apha zonubhala andwazi ke lamagama niwabizayo apha ngoba ke ingoma zika EFF ziculwa ngo EFF. Before we start kule program ke ngoku sikuyo. Kufuneka niyazile uba zintoni ezilindelekileyo ukuze kube kuyonyulwa lo nobhala simfunayo. Ukuze siyazi into yoba kwenzeka ntoni, funa sifundelwe ii-guidelines khona ukuze sihambe ngokomgaqo siseko ka-EFF. Sizawubiza i-PCT member uFighter nolonwabo Sinongengane ugogo. Asondele ngaphambili umuntu omdala asixelele into yoba kufuneka senze nina phambi koba siye lwalunyulweni. Amandla Nkosi Fighter Magaba. Kodwa before ndithethe Fighter Seko, ndifuna ibona le conference nani kuye umuntu bana ningayifiki la. Ngoma nathatha ngayo la conference nabiya nobhala la Alfred Nzo. Ndifuna nicule yona la ngoma, ndifuna uyibona apha. Magaba, our Provincial Deputy Secretary, Commissar Kondo, when others were busy fighting with spears, others were busy singing struggle songs to give to amaqabane abuya nelizwe. So kumzabalazo ke we EFF, it is very important ukuthatha amandla ngengoma Maqabane. Amanye amaqabane ukuzazive basembuthweni funeka eqambile. Alfred Nzo EFF, one of your regions that siyabulela ke Maqabane. Ndixolise that ndizozifunda ndindedwa ezi guidelines ngekho umuntu oziphetheyo ngenxa ye-technicalities ze-low shedding kange sikwazi ukwenza copies for wonke umuntu olapho. Ngokomthetho kumele uba le nto ndiyifundayo niyiphethe apha esandleni. Ndiyaxolisa ke the-fighters PCT members, RCT members, members of the branch, our ground forces, imedia ephakathi kwethu, molweni Maqabane. Ndicela ke nindiphe nje imizuzu emibala ndifunde ezi guidelines zibhalwe ngesilungu ke Maqabane. Ndawucela ungazicacisi, ndawucela uzifunda ngohlobo zibhalwe ngalo. Guidelines on Regional General Assembly, which is RGA. Introduction, number 1. Section 24 of number 2 of the EFF Constitution says, the RGA shall replace any RCT official if any official resigns, passes away, or is expelled from the EFF. Number 2. In line with the section of the Constitution, EFF region that have vacancies or officials, chairperson, deputy chairperson, secretary, deputy and treasurer, are directed to hold RGAs to elect members of the EFF in good standing to fill the vacancies. Number 3. The delegates of the RGA will be delegates that were elected for the purpose of the Provincial People's Assembly, the last PPA is Sugagoy. The RGA will take place for 1 day in a venue. Time and date decided by the Regional Command Team, which is RCT, attended by Provincial Command Team, PCDs, Central Command Team, deployee, Mama Umkondo, and approved by our War Council. Number 5, once the date and the venue and time of the RGA have been decided and approved, all the dates must be found. The RGA will elect officials to fill vacancies that are created. Regional General Assembly, RGA will be covered by CCT deployees. In our case, Umama Umkondo, to the region of any member of the CCT. It discusses political, ideological, and policy positions, but it does not override the decisions of the previous assembly, which is your last RGA. The political report will be presented by the sitting or outgoing chairperson of the region. In the case of the political report being presented by the outgoing chairperson, it must be served as a handover report. The oppositional report will be presented by the sitting or outgoing secretary. In the case when the report is presented by an outgoing secretary, it must also serve as the handover report. Once the report has been presented, the CCT deployees will preside over the elections in order to fill the vacancies that exist. The CCT deployees must start the process by taking nomination of the vacancies created. All members of the EFF in the region are eligible structures and organization. In any of the officials of the region accepting nomination to fill the vacancies, they immediately case to be an official and the position they occupied is vacant. This means that if a deputy chairperson or secretary nomination, they immediately vacate the position. The city employees must then inform the RHA that the nominations will now include the vacancies created by an official who accepted the nomination for a different position. It must be emphasized that vacancy of an official is declared immediately after a sitting official accepts nomination and before hand to support the nomination are called from the floor. A sitting official who accepts a nomination for a different position immediately vacates the current position and will not be allowed to contest the same position, even when they have not reached the threshold for the position they accepted nomination for. Once nomination has been in line with the rules of the Assembly, voting shall be done by a secret ballot. The city must ensure that election of officials does not affect the gender balance of the RCT. Vacancies that were created by a female cannot be replaced by a male. Elections rules and guidelines. The EFF guidelines, rules and code of conduct for people's assemblies will be applicable for the RGA with emphasis of maximum discipline. Only voting delegates representing branches and RCT members have the right to nominate and vote on the RGA. In nominating for the top 5 position, a 30% threshold of the voting delegates in the RGA should support the name or individual nominated for the name or individual to be included on the ballot paper. In instances where there is more than one name qualified for the ballot, the Electoral Commission shall prepare a ballot paper that includes the correct identification names or individual nominated for the respective position. All voting for positions in the regional assemblies will be by secret ballot, and counting of votes shall be manual. In the struggle of EFF, Secretary General, Commissioner Marshall Lamin. Thank you.
Amandla, wethu. I'm going to call Ukomisa Mkondo to explain further with the guidelines so that Song gets a clear understanding of what is to be done. Over to you, Komisa.
Amandla, fighters, some of the things that are in the guidelines will explain themselves as we are continuing with the agenda or with the program. But I want to further clarify the issue, first of all, of a person who is already in the RCT top 5 and accepts a nomination. Let's take Ufighter Magai Umlam. Uthi yena kunomuntu amnominatayo ukuthi abe usecretary we-region. Immediately athi I accept uphumile uposition yokuba uchairperson. Noma mase siyovota uyabuya as niyamkhetha as secretary. He is no more the chairperson of the region. Fanele sikhethe omunye umuntu ozoba uchairperson we-region, or fanele abuyele ayicontestele le position. Niyangizwa fighters? Akukho ukuthi uwelile ufuna ukucontesta and usabambe enye iposition. Akwenzeki. As immediately when you say I position that you were holding as the RCT top, it falls off. Sekufanele senze njani? In this RGA sikhethe omunye umuntu ozovala that position yakho. Ukuthi wena kwenzakalani ngawe lephambili la uthi uyakhona, we don't care. Noma ngabe uyathatha position wena uyayithatha noma uyithola assistant. Kuyazwakala yes. Ufighter ukhulume nge-threshold uDeputy Secretary weProvince ukhulume nge-threshold uthe 30%. Ufighter u-acting secretary uthe abantu abakhona la ama-delegates in total is 101. Yes, it's 104 delegates from the branches and 17 members of the RCT. That makes 121, isn't it? Kulo 121, ufighter Zikona, the Deputy Secretary, talked about from these guidelines, ukuthi each and every person must reach a threshold of 30%. Must he calculate the 30% yaga 121? Iti 36. Iti 36.6. Kusho ukuthi ngu-37 ngoba akekho 0.6 wemuntu. We only have a whole person, isn't it? When we round it to the nearest 36.6 wenda bani 37. So maba kunominator lama PCT members lawo atongilekelela kubala kuthi tandla leti kusekelako wena dingaki. Mati ngafiki ku 37 because we are talking about top 5 positions here. Tandla takho ku 37 mase tihlangene tonke. It means awirichanga i-threshold ngeke ukhone kusimela isikhundla. Utokhona kumela lesikhundla ungene ku ballot nangabe utothola lo 37 wetandla letiphakeme letithi siyamsekela komisa Mkhonto kuthi angaba ngisecretary wale region. Mangabe kule top 5 kunamunye, one of them wants to be kwenze kanjani uyayuza le eyakhe iposition immediately, meaning ukuthi manqeda ukwenza ama nominations wale ubusecretary obusihlanganisile namhlanje la ngiyakuphi futhi esikhundleni sakhe lesashile 10 minutes uvumela ubani wabuyela bekasebenza kahle it's not ukusebenza komuntu, it's not about ukuthi umuntu uyamthanda noma umthanda, kusho umthetho nanku. Sizwene fighters, ngizocela izandla before ngiyohlala phansi. Mangabe kukhona nakunento longayiva kahle ngicela ungibude ngilokhona ukukuchazela wena wekunene. Mangabe kukhona longakakuva kuloku leniceda kukusho nyalo ngicela uphakamise isandla usho ukuthi komisa angivanga kuthi uthini. Angifuni itandla mase kucala kunominate wasawuphakamisa isandla nginokuvumela ngilokusuppress. Going 3, going 2, going le RPA le RGA ize iyophela kumbe uze uyofa about this RGA. Thank you.
Without wasting any time, sizobiza unobhala obambeleyo. No, sizobiza uchairperson of the province azosifundela political of the region. Umlomo uyadala.
Know what I mean?
Umlomo uyadala 2026. Yebo. Okay. So bizofighter Magadla azosifundela i-political report sizoyazi uba apha Alfred Nzo politically sime kanjani. Over to you.
Dombono ya samana. Dombono ya samana.
Thank you very much again, Program Director. And I'm going to have the same excuse, Fighter. We wanted to print this in the office. Apparently, we still experience that in a we couldn't print. Kwabe ke ixesha selihambile siyaxolisa into yobana ningabi nayo document i-political report, but I'm going to read it, and if umuntu akavanga, obviously khona ixesha libana siyidiscusse, we can ask questions later. It's not a long document, it's a 3-page document. Izakhawuleza iphele ngoku. This is an Alfred Nzo Regional General Assembly political report, delivered by the chairperson of Alfred Nzo Mawande Makadla in Matatiela Royal Hotel. We greet you, Commissar Mkondo. We greet you, Commissar Matikizela Simtembile. We greet you, Fighter Zikona, Fighter Nolonwabo Ngendan, Fighter Mahamba. We greet Fighter Kotoi, Fighter Stoons, and Fighter Ketlana, the PCT members. We greet the RCT members as led by the capable leadership of the Deputy Chairperson, Mzigai Sekwekya. We greet the branch leaders present here, the PCTs, delegates, staff, media. Good afternoon. It is exactly 14 months, 28 days since this RCT was elected. Since elected, we have had two elections in exactly 33 days after conference. Under so much pressure, we managed to align ourselves with the directives of the organization and promised our people land and jobs manje. We managed to remove the Democratic Alliance as an official opposition in all 5 municipalities. Today, the Economic Freedom Fighters is officially the opposition in 4 local municipalities, so in 3 local municipalities and the district municipality. We managed to get in the municipalities 7 seats from 3 in Matatiele, whooping 7 seats from 3 in Matatiele, 6 seats from 3 in Umzimvu, 4 seats from 4 in Mandela, 4 seats from 2 in Dabangul local municipality, and 2 seats from 1 in Alfred Nzo district municipality. This is a good achievement, fighters, considering the fact that we never lost a single vote in all 4 sub-regions. Instead, we grew our electorate by more than 100% from the 2016 local government elections. However, the reality is that we could have done more. Growing in numbers doesn't really help the downtrodden of our people. Many of our people were still poor, while others flee their homes looking for economic the Marikana massacre and the July unrest, where people in the July unrest there by Durban, some of them were killed by Indians, racist Indians there. And then in Marikana, we are people of Matatiele and Dabangulu, Mbizana and Mount Frere were protected friends minimum wage. We had to lead this organization through a period that was confronted also by a global pandemic of a novel coronavirus, which claimed 102,371 lives in South Africa and destroyed many livelihoods of the ordinary masses of our people. During this period, on behalf of the EFF, we all that we aim in the region. As expected, EFF leaders adhered COVID-19 protocols and supported vulnerable families with essential items during various stages of lockdown restrictions. In the same breath, Alfred Nzo has seen a rise in the GBV, rape and child abuse cases. It would be inhumane of us not to talk about a case in Umzimvubu, Ward 26 at Tabazam, where a 15-year-old young girl was raped multiple times, and in an attempt to kill her, the small-minded male perpetrator stabbed her several times and stabbed her on the eyes, removing one eye and leaving the other hanging out. She's permanently blind now. We strongly condemn this act of evil and all other GBV-based acts and urge all men of Alfred Nzo to respect women and girl children. We in our society have suffered greatly from interrelated contradictions of racial oppression, class exploitation, and patriarchal relations of power. Looking at what about Human Rights Today, Commissar. It's a good thing. As point of departure, the struggle for gender equality has been carried out from this group, and members of the LGBTQI plus are further advantaged, violated and discriminated based on their sexuality. Women still represent the face of poverty, it's a fact, unemployment and inequality throughout the world. It is therefore no coincidence that throughout our road networks, it is women that you will see making strides to put food on the table, whether by selling fruit on the side of the roads and collecting scrap metal or selling food at the taxi ranks. Beyond putting food on the table, the little that they make from the efforts also enables their children to access opportunities that can change their lives and the fortunes of their families and communities. It's a fact, all of us here know that. Addressing this position of women in Africa, and particularly in the rural context, needs the urgent attention of the EFF. Patriarchy divides society and must be combated in all its forms. Gender stereotype socialization of girls and boys must be addressed to build social cohesion and democratize gender relations. Now we come to a very sensitive water where I work and we don't have water here. The chairperson works in the district. Water and all other services are still a huge problem in this region. I can tell you now, fighters, that 80% plus households of this region do not have access to water, a basic need to life, which is clearly stipulated in the Bill of Rights of the Constitution of South Africa, that all citizens have got a right to life and basic services such as water. Alfred Nzo District Municipality receives 1.5 billion rands, Matabo knows, a year. And yet more than 80% of our people don't have access to water. And we must always remember Commissars and facilitating of change in our region. We have lost lives and many more of our people were left destitute and homeless during this tragedy. We cannot sit back then and be reactive to such natural disasters. We must be better prepared. The links between climate change and natural disasters are well documented in the wide variety of climate change literature. It says between 1980 and 2019, we have witnessed increase in both storms and floods, with landslides experience. We note that landslides are gaining more momentum. We need to direct funding and investor efforts towards ensuring a just transition to renewable energy that will not devastate the environment and the people living in it. On health fighters, which is also very important. COVID-19, you all know that it has exposed the health department in the Eastern Cape West in this region. In this region, all 6 hospitals in Alfred Nzo either have old equipment and no staff at all to help patients. This is causing loss of life every day. Medication, no doctors. Most of them open at 9 and close at 3. This is a very stupid then by this government. A clinic needs to open 24 hours. It's proven science that fighters, people get ill in the evening. But now if you close the clinic in Ekwedlana, 23 Mount Frere, and people must drive for 4 hours to the hospital, that's why every day. We must also increase the impact and sustainability of programs targeting youth in social interventions. Now I'm concluding, fighters. My fellow fighters, as I mentioned at the beginning, the journey of this RCT collective has not been easy. However, here we are today. We have migrated one of us to the PCT as the provincial secretary, which leaves the position of a regional secretary vacant for now, and will depend on you, the branches of our movement, your organization, which is still intact, united, we're still united and coherent to fill this position. So it is us now who are going to fill this position. Fighters.
Ukuzamubonga amaxesha socela ufighter Siseko usekela nobhala ubambeleyo azosifundela i-organizational report. Ngicela ke fighters nesi concentrate simamele, hoping benimamele naku-political report because kwixesha elilandi emva kosiseko kuzawudiscusswa ezi reports, so we'll be taking questions from the floor. Ndiyabulela ukuthi
Mandla. Greetings. Alfred Nzo Mkhonto. Secretary, fighters Conan George, our PCT members, regional command team, fighters, branch leaders. Fighters, allow me to present this National General Assembly organizational report. On the first page is the table of contents. There is introduction, regional command team committees, branches, membership, elections, security, legal services, governance, labor desk, gender-based violence, disciplinary matters, EFF student command, obituaries, and conclusion. On the introduction, EFF Alfred Nzo was elected. EFF Alfred Nzo RCT was elected on the Regional People's Assembly in Mount Elifi on the 29th of August 2021. We have since held 27 RCT meetings. 12 of those meetings were held virtually, within which numbers of issues were attended to. We continue to analyze the terrain the organization is operating on and ensure the organization remains public eye by releasing our weekly media statements and more visibility in the entire region by having our weekly Red Fridays programs, towards reaching our 1 million membership target. We held a number of the programs in all sub-regions, where the top 5 was tasked to address those programs. The region hosted a national program on the 9th of August in Matatiel, which was addressed by the Commander-in-Chief, where a number of people came out to listen to the Commander-in-Chief. The RCT had 27 RCT meetings. Some were held physically, others were held virtually, since from the RPA. The dates: the first meeting was held on the 1st of September 2021. It was physical. Second meeting, 20 September 2021, it was physical. The third one was on the 10th of October, it was physical. The other one was on the 20th of October, was physical. 10 November, it was physical. 28 January 2022, physical. 7 March 2022, it was virtual. 15 March 2022, physical. 31 March, it was 31 March 2022, it was virtual. 24 April 2022, physical. 17 May 2022, physical. 30 September 2022, virtual. 19 June 2022, virtual. 19 July 2022, physical. It was virtual. 9 September, it was virtual. 1st September, it was virtual, and the 9th of September, it was virtual. 29 September, it was a physical meeting. 20 October, it was virtual. On the 1st of November, it was a virtual. 8 November, it was virtual. 12 November, it was virtual. 14 November, it was virtual. 16 November, it was virtual. Number of decisions were taken in those meetings. Programs were adopted from organization to governance. Some of the key decisions from those things. We submitted 23 motions in all councils to visit traditional leaders and introduce the organization. Registering young people for voting, deployments of RCT members to sub-regions and branches. Remove fighters who were not active in the RCT. Fighter Busang Matsu and 3 consecutive meetings. The regional command team and its deployment. Makadla Mawande, the chairperson, was deployed in Tabankulu. Mzigai Sekwetyana was deployed in Tabankulu. Fighter Simtembilo, the former regional secretary, was deployed in Umzimvu. Sisegos Kafungana was deployed in Winimati-Gizela Mandela. Nabi Salangasigi was deployed in Winimati-Gizela Mandela. Amonke Fighter was deployed in Matatiel. Mamus Saram Peza Akona was deployed in Tabankulu. Getelo Ntobeko was deployed in Winimati-Gizela Mandela. Ntshobane Nwabisa was deployed in Mzimvubu. Nomaza Nomganga was deployed in Tabankulu. Mpenya Ongezwa was deployed in Tabankulu. Raharibe Tukulu was deployed in Matatiel. Makashalala Andile deployed in Winnimatikizela Mandela. Sisilazi deployed in Matatiel. Makiva Zama Nelis deployed in Winnimatikizela Mandela. Nochati Unati deployed in Mzimvubu. Zama Ntsalazi deployed in Mzimvubu. Phezisa Novuyelelo deployed in Winnimatikizela Mandela. Fighter Dibela Mlungiseleni was deployed in Tabankulu. The following RCT members were removed and replaced by the following RCT members. Fighter Tukulo Raharibe replaced Fighter Busang Matsosa. Fighter Zama Nelis replaced Fighter Nonjabulo Yalo. Fighter Nati Nochati replaced Fighter Yongama Totoba, who's late. All RCT members were attending to their deployments. We are proud to say all of them are doing wonderful work. As all of our sub-regions managed to take branches to branch People's Assembly and branch General Assemblies in preparation of their Provincial People's Assembly. Regional Command Team members and portfolios. Magadla Mawande, the chairperson and the GTU head. Nzigai Sekwetyana, the deputy chairperson and the labor desk convener. Mastigizela Simtembile was the former regional secretary, was the secretary and the head of administration. Siseko Skafungana, deputy secretary and deployed in elections. Matabo Smith, who is the treasurer, was in a fundraising team. Langasigi Nwabisa, local economic development. Sarah Doto agriculture, Peza Akona sanitation and water. Gekelo Ntobeko on communications. Ntshobane Nwabisa science and technology. Nomaza Nomganga higher education. Raharibe Tukuluwo regional organizer. Makashandile security. Sisilana Ndandogazi mining and quarries. Zama Nelis Kiva sports, arts and culture. Nochati Unati education, skills development. Zama Ntsalazi the gender-based violence help desk. Phezisa Novuyelelo health. Dibela Mlungiseleli political education. The state of branches. In Winnimatikizela Mandela, the number of IEC wards is 32, number of branches launched 31, number of branches outstanding 1. In Matatiel, number of IEC branches wards 27, number of branches launched 26, outstanding 1. In Mzimvubu, number of IEC branches 28, number of branches launched 28, number of branches outstanding 0. In Tabankulu, number of IEC wards 19, number of branches 19, number of branches outstanding 0. Wards in the region is 106. Number of branches launched is 104. Number of branches outstanding is 2. 2 wards are not active because they are not our stronghold. Membership. The membership is 51. Is launched. It's 1. So we have 27 IEC wards. Number of membership is 37. Number of branches launched 26. Number of branches outstanding is 1. In Mzimvubu, we have 28 wards. Membership is 3,511. Number of branches launched 28. Number of branches outstanding 0. In Tabankulu, we have 19 wards. Membership is 2,795. Number of branches launched 19. Number of branches outstanding 0. Elections. Fighter Siseko is responsible for elections in the region. programs for elections, registering young people in the IEC, visiting high schools and sports programs, registering young people on IEC online system. Continuous door-to-door and community meetings where we are talking to each and every voter. The region contested by-elections, which took place on the 4th of May 2022 in Tabankulu local municipality in Ward 11, where we increased our votes by 100 plus percent, from 146 votes from 2021 to 386 votes in 2022. The security. The internal security is currently tasked to the regional secretary, while the external security is tasked of an RCT member, who is responsible for security when organizational events and visits to certain areas by EFF in the region. Governance. Public representatives. In Winnie-Madikizela Mandela, we have 4 public representatives, 2 females, 2 males. In Umzimpugu, we have 6 representatives, 4 females and 2 males. In Matatiel, we have 7 public representatives, 3 males and 4 females. In Tabankulu, we have 4. 2 district, we have 1. We have 2. 1 male, 1 female. That makes the total of 23 public representatives in the region. 10 are males, 13 are females. Replacement of public representatives. Fighter Ongezwa Mpenya was removed from council and was replaced by Fighter Nontsikelelo Stunzi. The reason for replacement was because the ward was below 100 in terms of the votes by IEC. Labor desk. Labor desk in the region is becoming more visible as we see now people are coming in numbers seeking assistance from our labor desk. Fighter Mzigai Kwetyana is the head of this desk, where number of workers related issues were attended to South. We attended in Matatiel in the following area, for Superstore, where an employee was dismissed unfairly, Boxer issue between workers and management, the Voice of Matatiel community radio station, where employees were not be paid by the station manager and mistreated by the board of directors. The issue was resolved and the station manager was suspended. In Tabankulu, Devland employees were paid. Right, between workers and the employee, the issue was resolved. In Umzimpugu, other teachers who were not paid their
Viva EFF, viva.
Viva!
Sawuthatha ithuba and give the delegates ithuba lophefumla on the reports that were read, both the political report and the organizational report. We'll take questions, comments, clarity seeking questions. Ningaphakamisa izandla ke those who have questions and isikhokelo ke will answer kwezo zinto ninazo. Sicela izandla. Number 1. Number 2 Mnyango. Is Number 3. Tukunotile number 3. Sicelo mama. Ziphi izandla komama. Okanye zonke i-reports zibacacela. Clear. Must be sithatha izandla ke sokuqala inkosikazi. Cela ninote Lucas.
Anja. Kwayisa siyabonga ngicela nje ukuza
i-organizational report uthetha ngama-branch okanye amawadi angazange alotshwe. So bengicela ukubuza bekuthi nazange alotshwe lapha kwe-region. Ngicela nje lo mbuzo kuphela.
Enkosi tata. Ngasiphima. Sicela number 2.
Thank you, Mr. Both reports were very clear leadership. But in the parallel is the issue of gender-based violence. Because there are a lot of cases as a scenario for gender-based violence in this region. Including East London is coming from this region. So but that gender desk, we need to see strengthenation so that as challenges can come, and also the issue of the economy stuff. We can be there, in the region is one of the regions, Africa, as the most poorest regions in South Africa as a whole. So we need to have a clear plan and a program that seeks to upgrade economic development in our region. Because it seems like the region, even this agenda of urban renewal, you don't see anything happening in our region. Thank you very much.
Sibulele Sikhokhelo, sicela isandla sesithathu. Now number 3.
Okay, thank you. Igama lingu-title from ewulimadizela what's that? On sibunela ukwamkela both reports. They actually know the problem that they're reaching. That's the region is facing. So, but even actually counter his problems services identified. So, I'll make a few comments that may be my of assistance to the house and to pave the way forward. I'll talk about into ementionwe kamhlanga into kuya 7 obanye bavele bafike ngo-6 but nurses and other staff zizoqala ngonebe kuba then they use imoto today. So I was thinking maybe we can try if there are committees in those cases. Let us find if I task from those wards, clinics, to actually be part of those committees. So that we easily interface. There are places that I can that even if I don't name name by name. Up with months for Ubaba access a basic health care needs, they have to pay transport fee. For the months back, in the house, it's all down there, it's compact, and the population. Be able to raise those issues, but those have clinics, that initiative. Then, economic empowerment. What they think that they are fighters who are responsible for mainly potentially agriculture. I think the municipalities, if a corner and other sources for ukulima zidu. So I was thinking, if there are ways, of which I am sure that there are ways to actually help abantu in order for them to because it is a so if we can gather as a project and then fight us there at the forefront of those projects, that might be also helpful to the poor masses. And then, so I was thinking if we can also develop a program whereby upper Kuleriji but yeah. And this way, it feels like the carpentry and it's not like in the tennis without this needs. Umzekelo kwi-towns ezininzi zofumanisa xa uyolungisa ifowuni uyoyilungisa kwiNigeria or from kwi-Indian and thina okanye abantu abancinci apha e-Alfred and also but it's a national issue. Abakwazi nokulungisa ifowuni and other stuff. Kodwa kube lona nto I'm trying to stress skill development. I think if we can come up with the plan of ubasizise those programs in rural areas because we are in rural areas. They will uplift about their skills so that they can put something on the table. Thank you, Madam.
Uzawuphendula apha kwezi questions zilapha because these reports are RCT reports nebekumele into yoba nina nizi-adoptile nina ne-RCT ne so awukwazi uyibuza uzawuphendula wena kwezi kumelanga uyakhomenta ngokomthetho okanye ke singasika i-clarity from Komisa Mkhonto. Sicela itafile ke isincedise I think zii-comments ezikhoyo kukhona i-question directed to uFighters Kafungane.
Mandla wethu Viva Manbulele program director. I-question eraiswe nguFighter Lloyd apha ibuza ngezi branches ezimbini esithi zizo zodwa singenayo membership efika ku-100. The reason ke ezo branches njengoba sitshilo xa sithetha ukuthi any of mansa ngu-Ward 4 eMatatiele then enye ESA Mbizana, I think it's what 32 Mbizana. As of branches ke comrades, ezinye ze branches ezingasozizo i-stronghold sethu thina EFF, but ke awusuba kuhlelwi angathi ayikho into eyenziwayo. We are trying to get volunteers ezawazi ngokusenzima ukufumana volunteers. Branch vele besaziwa branch ezinkulu ezinabantu bebesabelieve kulo mbutho ke wamasebe, but we are making inroads when a fighter Lloyd ukuthi as branch mazikwazi nazo because nazo zine target kule nto target kawa kumele zimrichile lawa 58. So ke xa se-reach target ngaphandle sizawusebenza ukuqinisekisa ukuthi what 4 what 32 what 4 ematateni what 32 embizana bayi-reach target because sesiqalile siyazifumana i-fighters pha amandla
amandla as fighters ngifuna ukuthetha malunga nalo mcimbi we-GBV. Uba ngaba niqaphela ubuhle as fighters apha e-Alfred Nzo sizame kangangoko ukuyilwa i-GBV. Nangona kunjalo into esibethayo iphaya ku-justice apho sicinga uba i-leadership kaninani fanele uba isincedise kwezaa cases phaya police stations apho sifike siduke khona ungayazi uba icase iphelele phi. Amandla Nkosi Chairman, President. No, ebezininzi bekuzi comments fighters. Deputy Secretary is modest, which we are making inroads bekunzima kweza what ezimbini branches ezimbini. We are able to there are people that don't want to work with us. We are in the process of as an organization having 1 million membership. I can tell you that now there are people that that are deployed by the organization in the council that haven't brought a single form to the organization, Commissar, and say Nancy member and he recruited who else could clusters out. So we have dead wood quartering as leadership, anti-leadership councils, but it's the process of the organization in the council. It's not our process as the region, but we've got people who monitor branches. We need to monitor everybody, including abantu that have got power to do umsebenzi organization. But we like committees that are progressive. How do we go forward? We'll take those and filter them through eskokelweni meetings, and maybe such people can also be invited to meetings and just give advices. We appreciate that. Thank you.
In the absence of questions, sicela iqhuba inqwelo sizawungena kwi-elections, but there are changes registering. So Mkondo izawuqhuba elections athi take us through on the changes and then aqalise i-program ye-elections. Over to you, Commissar.
Amandla. Viva, viva. Ayikuli EFF. We are starting with the we do that. I will ask the first of all request a hand that will
My name is from Alfred Nzo EFF.
You are here as a branch delegate.
I am here as a
Sit down.
Your report.
Yeah.
Greetings again, fighters. I stand to adopt the.
You move. You move for the adoption. Okay. And you say the move for the adoption of the report. The report has been noted. Now, yes, a round of applause, fighters. Fighters. I saw wish ngathi ngabe akuna video engithathayo manje. Ukuzijwayeza ukuthi mawufika emcimbini ube umcimbi kwawena. Yes, ungathi uma ufika emcimbini uba yi-opposite yalo mcimbi. That is why banishuthe emishadweni yabantu ukuthi ninomona nizubuhlungu ukuthi bayashada. Ngoba banifika emishadweni yabantu nifika nihlale nigoqa izandla nihlahla amehlo. Abantu bajabulile bayatikizela bafaka this one is there for another purpose. I hope the video le ingikhathile mangisho njalo. Okay, fighters, we have changes kuma credentials. Now and we have 19 3, 6. To divide this part to yourselves, ukuthi ubani uma kuphi, ubala fike kuphi, ubani ubala fike kuphi, and 3 this side. Once uphakamisa isandla, fighters, you are not going to drop. No, bazodivide bona ukuthi ubani ucounter afike kuphi, ubani ucounter afike kuphi. Yes. PCT members, please use whatever so that you don't count the same group of people. Yibani show ukuthi ubani ngicela ukunika just a minute nivumelane ukuthi mina ngizobala ngifike la, wena uqala la ufika la, omunye uqala la ufika le. Send it right.
Rasta.
Fighters, we are having a vacancy of a secretary in this region. Now I'm going to take hands that are nominating. You will raise your hand, tell the house who you are, which branch are you coming from, and then who are you nominating? We can start. Hands up. Yes, fighter with a beret. What 9? Which sub-region? Matatiel. Okay. Unominator igama lika Fighter Siseko ukuthi abe usecretary we region. You must do things correctly, fight. Yes. Start afresh. Ucela yena. Oh, uphakamisa igama lakhe. Okay. Fighter Siseko Skafungani. Are you in the house?
Yes,
do you accept the nomination?
Skafungani from Matatiel, Ward 24. I accept the nomination.
Le eniyenzayo ayikho kuma guidelines. Yeah, ama guidelines athe ngizonikeza ithuba lokuthi niphakamisa izandla. Yeah, le niyenzile out of order ayikho kuma guidelines. Okay ke, awuthi nginikeza ithuba nenze into ekuma guidelines. Laba abasekela igama lika Fighter Siseko Skafungani ukuthi abe unobhala wale region abaphakamise izandla. Uvala umlomo, uphakamisa isandla. Ungakhulumi, akukho kuma guidelines. You must count, fighter, so you must count even here at the front. And then you give me your numbers. Okay, I'm waiting for the numbers.
26. 23.
I'm waiting for 2 PCT members with their numbers. You have combined them, or you combined? Okay, you can lower your hands, fighters. We are done. Fighter, we are done, fighter. You can lower your hand. We are done. Fighter Sisegos Kafungane has reached the threshold. All right. Any other name, anyone who wants to nominate another person for this position? Fighters. High moral. High discipline. High moral. High discipline. Amandla. Any other hand? Okay, here is a hand.
I, Fighter Mawande Makasa, Umzimvubu Ward 4, would like to propose a closure only on this matter, Commissar. Thank you very much.
Nomination is proposed. Any seconder? Any seconder? Yes, Fighter, with reading classes. Which ward are you coming from? Ward 25, Matatiel. You second the closure, ne? Closure has been seconded. By the powers vested upon me, I hereby pronounce that Fighter Sisegos Kafungane is the new Secretary of Alfred. Ufighter Sisego, immediately he said, I am available. He was vacating the position of being the Deputy Secretary. So it means now we are having a vacancy on the Deputy Secretary position. Now I am going to give you an opportunity to elect a new Deputy Secretary of Alfred Nzo. Deputy Secretary? Yes, right. With a V cap. Use your rally voice. Which sub-region? Okay.
I nominate Deputy Secretary for Region.
Fighter Antobego Ketero, are you in the house?
Yes.
Yes.
You have been nominated. Are you available?
My name is Fighter Antobego Ketero from Ward 18, Mandela. I humbly accept.
Niyathanda ukwenza izinto ezingekho kuma guidelines. Ufighter Ntobeko Getelo has accepted the nomination. Now, I need hands that are supporting the name of Fighter Ntobeko Getelo to be the Deputy Secretary of Alfred Nzo. You can lower your hands, fighters. You can lower your hands. We have done counting. Lower your hands, we are done. The name of Fighter Ntobeko Getelo has reached threshold. Now, I'm waiting for another name. I'm waiting for another name to be nominated for the position of Deputy Secretary. Going one, going two, three, at the back with a black beret. Closure of the nominations have been proposed by five handicap. Closure has been seconded by the powers vested upon me to preside over this RGA. I hereby pronounce that Fighter Ntobeko Getelo is the new Deputy Secretary of Alfred Nzo region in the Eastern. Fighters, mina umsebenzi wami enguthunywe uMarshal Zingisa Dlamini sengiqedile. So the two positions, one that has long been there, have been filled. One that has been vacant since 15 minutes ago has been filled. Thanks very much. Amanda. Amanda. Viva EFF, viva. Viva EFF, viva. Aikule EFF, aikule. Pambili. Pambili nge EFF, pambili. Amanda.
Amanda.
Amandla. Amandla. Sicela nizole fighters apho ngasemva. Ayikaphumile nkomfa ye-region masiyi-contain excitement. Sithi congratulations to the newly elected leaders. Unobhala. Yeah, fighter Nobhala. Khawubulise endlini. Unetitle entsha.
Andla. Qina fighter qina. Qina fighter qina. Woza 2024 woza. Woza 2024 woza. Sayithatha Eastern Cape sayithatha. Sayithatha Alfred Nzo sayithatha. Sayithatha Mzimvubu sayithatha. Sayithatha Winnie Madikizela Mandela sayithatha. Sayithatha Ntabankulu sayithatha. Sayithatha Matateli sayithatha. Mandla.
Sana ujimile unobhala. Siphakamise isekela lika Nobhala ufighter Gecwele akabulise naye.
Mandla. Mandla. Awethu. Awethu. Viva CIC Julius Malema viva. Viva. Viva Alfred Nzo viva. Viva. Mandla. Awethu. Qina Alfred Nzo qina. Qina.
Before we close the session, sizocela isikhokelo of the region if asikona i-announcements. In the absence of i-announcements, ozikhona siphakamisa isikhokelo. Ngicela ningaphazamisa apho ngasemva fighters. Sinesikhokelo sika-national apha, ngicela sibonise isikhokelo. I-ofisi engasenhle. Ngicela nizole, ayikaphumi le nhlangano. Ngicela uphakame fighter uzosinika izisi usosuyivala lapha.
Mandla. Mandla. Sihamba fighters zimbalwa izinto esoxela ngazo masiqala imisebenzi kala. In the plenum this year in January, the organization declared this year as the year Msuthu of branches, where we are requested to recruit 1 million membership in South Africa. We have got our own targets, fighters. Apo kufuneka si recruit branch nganye ibe no 158.
Fighters, please listen. It's very important.
I'm not going on. Who tell fighters? Yeah. So kukhona into nje ndayiva ke Commissar Madikizela into bana ngoba ezinye wathi 300 kukhona ezimvano secretary. Once you don't meet your target as a branch, which is 158, you are going to answer for your branch. Possibly it's going to be disbanded the branch, or maybe not as the region will have to answer. Kungakumbi abantu that are clustered in those wards. So all wards of Alfred Nzo must meet the target of 158 branches. We are just above 1,000. Target here it's about 1,000, I think. It's not 2.6. It's about 1,000, I think. We can finish that in 3 days if all these branches as LAPA can submit membership. We submit electronically. There's no need for you to go to the office. Fortunately, hopefully ke elacula benimculela lona nyana unjalo. Nithumela kunobhala or office yakhe nako no deputy secretary bazodila nazo ke zonke ezo zinto. Secondly, xa siphuma apha fighters umuntu uzobamba into esiwa phansi kwempumlo lapha phandle andazi bahawufake osisi kungenzeki lanto yasenzekele umuntu Commissar. Nasilambisa apha masiyithethe inyama. Thetha nje ngithi basilambisa sonke nami ndalamba salamba sonke. But ke yathethwa lonto kwi-PCT kwanyanzeleka masenyula i-PCT entsha engeke iphinde yenze laa nto esiyenziwe phaa. Sine-PCT ke ngoku engeke iphinde yenze laa nto yenziwe phaa. Xa siye eMonti next time sekuphethe isikhokhelo esitsha esizawusihluthisa. Sihambe nihluthene apha fighters ke. And then sikhawuleze singene esiteksini please. Ngoba khona abantu abayezilalini. Sure. Ushiwa kuqhuqa. No. Mandla. Sure fighters. Nikhawuleze ningene sorry fighters. Nikhawuleze ningene ezimotweni ingabikho umuntu ozoyidolophini please. Ngoba izomshiya imoto yabona indoda ayikho wrong le benzayo. Ufonelwa nguquqa wakhe ngoku odlula. Ukudlula kwaloquqa akazikwazi ufika ekhaya. Sicingela abantu abayemakhaya ke kuzidikise sigibele kuzo. Khona abantu abayizilalini funeka bafike kuse-early babambe imoto eGodgayi. So kusuka kwethu apha siyatya immediately siya eziteksini siyagoduka. Akukho umuntu ozogala once ugalavante uye edolophini uyothenga inip siyakushiya. Kufutshane ke futhi ke apha ke se-Alfred Nzo le nto zina. Mandla. The meeting is adjourned, fighters. Thank you very much.